I'm Terry Garvey.
And I'm Derek Mooney. And this is Read Right Now. Welcome to the new series of Read Right Now. Read Right Now is about improving your reading, numeracy and writing skills, which will involve you learning, which can be tricky enough for any of us.
So that's why in this series we're also going to be looking at the process of learning, how you learn, what affects your learning, and we'll be exploding the myth that learning is only for some people.
And because learning is about people, we will of course feature many individual learner stories, people who for themselves have found the best way to learn. We'll have practical tips, hints and advice.
So stick with us for a really useful and enjoyable journey over the next few weeks.
To get the most out of Read Right Now, you should get yourself a copy of the free Read Right Now workbook. It's got worksheets and activities to practice, as well as lots more tips and advice. All you have to do is pick up the phone and dial 1800 20 20 65. Lines are open now. We're here in the market town of Maynooth, known for its university. But there are primary schools, secondary schools and adult education centres here also, places we associate with learning. But learning takes place in a vast number of locations in every town in Ireland. In fact, throughout our lives, we learn in a variety of different environments and in many different ways. So why am I here? Well, actually, I'm looking for a hardware store. Sometimes we don't think of things as learning experiences, but they are, and we have to develop skills to do them effectively. In this series, we will be talking about all kinds of learning, including the core skills of literacy and numeracy. And if you've had negative experiences in the past, we'll show you that it's never too late to learn and everyone can do it. Betty Cummins from Ballymun went back to learning at her local VEC Literacy Centre. She started with one-to-one tuition, moved on to a group and has never looked back.
School was both positive and negative for me. Even though I came out being the way I was, I loved school. You know, I mean, you couldn't really love something that much if it was all negative. I always felt as though the teacher thought that I was going to be a brilliant wife, which I am. No, I just thought that she thought that I'd get on fine in my life, you know, with the things I knew. I have a very good creative side, so I was very good at all the things that we done in school, like working with my hands, and I just sailed through the classes, and I don't know whether the teacher noticed that I was so bad. I just came out of school not up to the standard I wanted to be. That was a problem I always felt I had all my life, and I always wanted to do something about it. I thought it was an awful thing that a kid could go to school, loving school, and always wanted to be there and was willing to learn. And how could somebody come out, you know, with a spelling problem when you really want to learn? Just came a point in my life that I just wanted to do all the things that I missed out. One of them was I wanted to go back to school. I went to one-to-one for 2 years. Then I went on to, I done a few courses. And then I went and I done the junior cert. There was no way I thought that I could pass that, but I did. So that was a terrific feeling. I thought the English was a good feeling, like really a buzz, and there was a great buzz in the house and that, you know, with the kids. When I passed the English, but when I passed the history now, I thought it was terrific.
This is the Bicentenary Garden in Maynooth College. It's a wonderful mixture of skill, creativity and vision. It wasn't always like this, with strong, healthy plants and beautiful stone sculptures. First there was an idea, then a plan, and it took shape over time. So today we can appreciate this achievement. All learning is an achievement. It takes time and practice and experience. We develop skills and abilities all the time, sometimes without even being aware that we're developing them. We grow and learn and accumulate knowledge. And all the experience we have in our life, everything that's happened to us, that's a resource that we can call on to help us in any new learning situation. All through our lives, learning never stops, and each new situation presents its own unique challenge.
Well, I found what I'm looking for. It's called O'Bucula's. It's one of the best known stores in the town, dating back as far as 1853, would you believe? Anyway, I've set myself a challenge. I've decided to give the back door a fresh coat of paint. Good morning, Joe. How are you?
Fine, Derek.
Good. I need a few things.
Fine.
I need a paintbrush, some sandpaper, and a tin of paint.
Right hand side back of the shop.
Thank you very much. Now, I have exactly €20, and I'm hoping that this should be enough to cover me. Paintbrush, sandpaper. Now, that's the one. Here's a handy tip to use next time you're out shopping. Imagine you have €20 in your pocket and you need to buy a tin of paint for $9.99, a paintbrush at $4.99, and a packet of sandpaper which costs $3.99. You need to work out whether that €20 is going to cover it. Now, instead of trying to add up all those 99s, here's a quick way of working out the rough cost. Simply round off the price to the nearest whole number. So $9.99 is almost €10, $4.99 is almost $5, and $3.99 is nearly €4. Then add them up. 10 plus 5 is 15, 15 plus 4 is €19. So you can approach the checkout with confidence knowing you won't be caught short at the till. If you'd like some more practice with numbers, there's a worksheet on adding up a shopping list in the Read Right Now workbook.
If you'd like to find out what VEC literacy services are available in your local area, call the free phone number 1800 20 20 65. All over the country, the VEC provides one-to-one tuition as well as group tuition. So call now.
This is Gerald's townhouse here. This is where I came for my first learning experience, which changed my life completely. I found it very emotional to go back and ask for help. Just came a point in my life that I just wanted to do all the things that I missed out. One of them was I wanted to go back to school and learn. I just went down, I was with another friend of mine, and I saw a poster. It just said on the poster, if you had a problem with reading, writing or spelling, to leave your name and number. And Mary Love's name, that's the coordinator. And I left my name and number, and she got back to me. And I went down, had an interview, and cried.
Do you remember when you came here? Do you remember when you came here first?
I'll never forget the first time I came in here,
Yeah.
and I was to meet you. And I suppose it's at the end of the day, when I look back, I'd honestly say you were the first person I met that could understand me and understood what I was trying to say,
Okay.
and not in a patronising way. I think when you come to a stage in your learning, that you just decide, it just comes to you that the problem you had with spelling, you can just leave aside and then move on and do whatever you like.
Well, I mean, this is what we say. I mean, everybody's got something in their life. We all have something that we have to kind of deal with. And I would hope in the scheme would be that if people can envisage being learning for life and moving on from thinking that they can't do something to just accepting that they're going to do it. It might be a bit harder. They might have to do it. They might have problems with the spelling. But let's do it. Life is now. I'm happy to be back and I faced a problem and I'm doing something about it. The only problem is not to do something about it. And that's it. And I think you've done very well, haven't you, in the last few years?
Well, I have, and I feel, you know, completely different.
Yeah.
I can look back on it, and I really kind of, I treasure all the, you
Yeah.
know, different things that we did, and
Yeah. It's been a good road, hasn't
yeah,
it? Yeah.
very positive.
To understand a bit more about how we learn, it might help to simplify it. All learning involves 4 different stages. Stage 1 is where you can't do something, but you don't even know that you can't do it. For instance, a couple of years ago, I didn't have a mobile phone, so I didn't know anything about sending text messages. Just didn't even feature. Stage 2 is where you don't know something, but now you know you don't know it. For instance, you've got the mobile, you know about text messages, you just can't send them. Stage 3 is where you can do the task, but it takes a lot of your attention and concentration. Stage 4 is where you can do the task without even thinking about it. I think I've got a bit more work to do before I get to that stage. All learning involves those 4 stages, whether it's learning to walk or learning to drive a car. People often get frustrated as they move through these stages. They feel their progress is slow. The key is practice, and the reward at the end, when you reach stage 4, is a really great feeling.
Hi, I'm Ian Robertson. In this section of the programme, we'll be looking at the most complicated piece of machinery in the universe, that is the brain inside your head. How many of you remember that free phone number we gave you earlier? Strangely enough, it's quite hard for the brain to remember a number with 10 digits in it. That's because this part of the brain here, left at the front, can only remember about 7 pieces of information. In other words, to remember that free phone number, what you have to do is to break it down into bits. It's a bit like going shopping. It's hard to carry everything home in your arms. You split it up and put it into different bags. Well, learning can be a bit like that. You have to try and break up into different bags, whatever it is you're trying to learn. So take the free phone number, for instance. The first bag could be 1-800 rather than 1800. The second one could be 2020. Think of 2020 vision, for instance, rather than 2020. And the third one could be 65 rather than 65. So you end up with the number you're trying to learn in 3 bags: 1-800, 2020, 65. It's a lot easier than 1800, 20, 2065, isn't it? There's another way in which you can help things stick in your mind and learn them better, and that's by linking them with knowledge you have already. Take the free phone number. Let's link that to music. 1-800, 1-800, 2020, 65. That's a great way of remembering a number, to join it with music. So, can you remember the number? See if you can. Inside your head, you have got the most complicated machinery in the universe. We can all learn to use it much better.